Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. If your Samsung dryer keeps throwing that she error code and shutting down, I've got great news. I'm going to show you exactly how to fix it. Most of these problems are simple DIY repairs that take 15 to 45 minutes and can save you $200 or more in service calls. Just remember to always disconnect power before working on your dryer for safety. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group. Links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. So, the number one cause I see, and I mean this is probably 70% of my HE error calls, is restricted airflow. When that exhaust vent gets clogged up with lint, heat just builds up inside your dryer like an oven. The error shows up after you've been running for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and when you open that door, it's genuinely hot in there. Here's what you gotta do. Pull out that lint screen and clean it thoroughly, and I mean wash it with soap and water to get that fabric softener residue off. Then disconnect your dryer and clean out the entire vent system with a vent cleaning kit. Don't forget to check that exterior vent hood outside your house. Make sure it's opening and closing freely. I had this customer last month who couldn't figure out why her dryer kept overheating. Turned out birds had built a nest in her exterior vent. Once we cleared that out and reset the dryer by unplugging it for 5 minutes, problem solved. Now here's where it gets tricky. Sometimes your dryer throws the HE code immediately, like within the first minute or two, even when the drum is stone cold. That's your thermistor playing tricks on you. This little temperature sensor should read about 10,000 ohms at room temperature. When it fails, it drops to around 100 ohms, tricking your dryer into thinking it's dangerously overheated. You can test this with a basic multimeter. They cost about 15 bucks at any hardware store. First, disconnect power to your dryer. Set your multimeter to ohms mode. Look for the omega symbol. Carefully touch the red and black probes to the thermistor's two wire terminals. A good thermistor reads about 10,000 ohms at room temperature. If you're getting 100 to 112 ohms instead, your thermistor part DC 3200007A has failed and needs replacement. Disconnect power, find the thermistor near your heating element or blower housing, unplug the wires, and install the new one. Here's what happens. When your dryer overheats from clogs or other problems, the thermal fuse and thermostat act like circuit breakers. They blow to prevent fires. The thermal fuse, part number DC47000016A or DC9600887C, will show no continuity when you test it with a multimeter. Unlike a circuit breaker, though, these are one-time use safety devices. Once they blow, they're permanently damaged and must be replaced. Here's the critical part. You must fix whatever caused them to blow first, or you'll immediately destroy the new parts. This usually means thoroughly cleaning your entire vent system. Clean that vent system completely before you put in new safety components. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people replace the fuse without fixing the airflow problem, then call me back a week later with the same issue. This one's trickier to diagnose. When the main control board fails, the heating element relay can get stuck in the on position. Here's how to spot it. Your heating element stays powered constantly, even during no heat cycles like air fluff. The result? Your dryer heats up within seconds, triggers the HE code immediately, and shuts down for protection. Sometimes you'll see it run for just a few seconds before it quits. Try unplugging the dryer for 5 minutes to reset the control board. If that heating element is still getting power when it shouldn't be, like on the no heat air fluff cycle, you're looking at a control board replacement. This is where the repair starts getting expensive, and you might want to think about whether it's worth fixing versus replacing the whole dryer. Sometimes that heating element coil inside the assembly starts sagging or bending until it touches the metal casing. When that happens, you get a short circuit that creates a runaway heat condition and blows your thermal fuses. You can spot this with a visual inspection. Look for the coil touching the metal housing. To test it properly, check for continuity between the heating element terminals and the metal outer casing. If you're getting continuity there instead of an open reading, the element is grounding out and needs replacement. The heating element part DC 47000019A isn't too bad to swap out. Just make sure when you install the new coil that it's properly suspended and not touching the metal chassis anywhere. All right, so the HE error code on Samsung dryers basically means your machine thinks it's overheating. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes it's actually overheating and sometimes it's just a sensor lying to you. I'm going to walk you through the most common causes, starting with the stuff that's literally overheating your dryer. Then we'll get into the sneaky sensor problems that make you think there's heat when there isn't. The Thermistor is your cheapest fix. You're looking at somewhere between 7 and 36 bucks depending on where you shop. You can grab these from appliance parts stores or online. This is definitely a DIY repair, pretty straightforward swap. Just remember to test it first with a multimeter before you order the part. Should read about 10,000 ohms at room temperature. Here's something most people don't know. Sometimes you'll replace the thermistor and still get the HE code coming back. That usually means the control board got damaged too and needs replacement along with the thermistor. Thermal fuses run about 25 to 28 bucks and they're easy enough to replace yourself. You can find them at most appliance parts dealers. The thing is, this is usually a symptom, not the root cause. If you just replace the fuse without fixing the airflow problem or whatever made it blow, you're going to blow the new one right away. Always make sure you get the exact same temperature rating on the replacement fuse. Don't try to upgrade to a higher temperature rating thinking it'll last longer. Heating elements are going to run you anywhere from 54 bucks up to about 225 for the full assembly. These are moderately easy to replace. You're basically disconnecting some wires and swapping out the housing. When you install it, make sure that coil doesn't touch the metal casing anywhere. Most element failures actually cause the thermal fuse to blow, so you might need both parts. Now we're getting into the expensive stuff. Control boards can run anywhere from 160 up to 368 bucks, and that's just for the part. This is a more complex repair. You're dealing with multiple wire connections and programming. At this price point, especially if your dryer is over 7 years old, you might want to consider replacing the whole unit instead. If you do decide to repair, get a professional diagnosis first to confirm it's really the control board. Some repair shops won't take returns on control boards, so you want to be sure. Before we wrap this up, you can see right there on your screen the most common Samsung dryer models that run into these HE error issues. Take a look. You might even spot your own model number up there. Don't worry about memorizing all those numbers. Just see if yours shows up in that list. That's how you tackle the Samsung HE error code. Here's your step-by-step action plan. Step 1. Clean your entire vent system thoroughly. This is free and fixes 70% of HE errors. Step 2. If the error appears immediately on a cold dryer, test your thermistor with a multimeter. Step 3. Check your thermal fuses for continuity. Only move to expensive parts like the control board after you've ruled out these common causes. Way cheaper than calling someone like me out for a service call. Try these fixes in order, and most of the time, one of them will solve it. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your Samsung dryer working again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.